Mr. Hector Hernandez on the guitar, ladies and gentlemen. It's another beautiful day to be a raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you've come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them. What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And a lot of people have been asking me, where is that at? Where's that at exactly? Well, it's this little place around the corner, down the street. You gotta go past that house. You know the one with the funky brick porch. You go past that, there's that guy. He's standing on the corner. Ask him. Usually he'll only charge you $1 or $2. He'll point you in the right direction. It's a little place through that alley that we call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. And a little Thursday night Raider Nation Ricochet tonight as we're going to bounce back and forth through all of the hot Raider topics with none other than Captain Jack.
Yeah, Raider Nation! Good to see you out there. I didn't want to scare too many people because they said I was a little close last time, so I kind of stayed back a little this time.
We don't listen to them.
Yeah, screw them.
We like it up close and in your face.
But I do try to accommodate as I can. Never let it be said that your comments weren't looked upon and acted upon.
Duly noted.
If they were okay, they were okay. I was going to do them. Okay? If I didn't like it, F it. And again, I'm still trying to stay within FCC rules. Although you out there can cuss. This guy can cuss. I'm just trying.
Oh, yes, I can.
I'm just trying to stay within bounds, okay? Because when we go to our Tuesday show, and I'm going to have a Tuesday show with the Commish and Mr. Finn, who's going to be
Big L. I think we got great reviews from Big L, and I show us on Monday. He's going to be the new Monday co-host for me, and man, that was a fun hour. I ain't gonna lie.
Again, I'm sure it was, but see, I don't want to watch because I want all of my remarks.
You probably ain't gonna get nothing out of that but a bunch of laughs because it's just pretty much. We had a script, but we took that shit and threw it out the window like the first 30 seconds of the show. So
it's okay. We're gonna have a triple header coming up when I get this done. I know. It's not like I've been busy, guys.
Triple header.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's a Glenn McBurney Jr. sighting. I'm glad to see you out of the slammer, at least enough to post somewhere.
I was going to say, did you get any conjugal visits?
Well, there's nothing like a good conjugal visit.
Yeah, I'm all for a conjugal visit with the right girl.
Yes.
With the right girl.
I digress. Biggest news of the day, Captain.
We digress.
Yeah.
Let me guess. And again, I haven't been really. I've had a long day today, doctor's appointments and work, and I took a nap, man. I was tired because it was a bunch. But I bet you any money, I can tell you what the biggest story of the day is. I'll give you the initials. Amazon Mike, K as in kilo, or A as in a-hole. I think those are the big words for the day. Am I right?
T as in traitor.
Okay. Yeah, I bet you I heard.
Okay, so Marquette King goes to the Donkeys. We've had to talk about him every night this week because it seems every day there's a new little twist added to it, and so we have to talk about it.
This should be hopefully.
What's up, Chucky Nation?
Hey, Chuck. Go on, brother.
What's up, everybody? Hey, thank you for joining us as always. Captain's going to be with me on Thursdays. At least every other Thursday. Every Thursday. I'm here every Thursday. If he can be here, you might as well.
At least every other Thursday, maybe, hopefully every Thursday, God willing, and the cows don't come home or I'm planted. So unless things are bad, trust me, I'll be here with the Commish, because you can't have a better Thursday night than the Commish and the Captain spouting the knowledge of Raider Nation to you.
Absolutely. Now, here's the
skinny?
The skinny, I guess.
Yeah.
On King. So he signs what was it? It's a 3-year deal, right?
I didn't see all the
I think it's a 3-year deal. That's all I seen. I didn't see numbers. I seen it was a reported 3-year deal.
Okay, well, you know what? It doesn't matter what the numbers are, because what that does to the Broncos is, I bet you any money that it was a high contract, just like he had with the Raiders, and it's going to screw up their salary cap more. So that's the bottom line. See ya!
That's a spite signing right there. That's a signing to we're gonna sign this son of a bitch and be the first ones and give you a big F you to the Raiders, but it's gonna hurt them in the long run.
There it is. You know
He's
what?
a punter.
Yeah. Now here's the thing, and I think I've said this before. I said it via, well, actually, I don't think I said it to y'all, because I've said it to people that were commenting to me. I want you in Raider Nation and everybody that's watching us right now, I want you to go back and cite me any game that Marquette King won for the Raiders.
You can listen, Marquette King, you can go out there and say this is a revenge signing. I'm doing this for revenge. Listen, pal, you're a punter. Punters don't really decide the fate of games. You may play a small part in it one way or another, but you're not going to go out there and say, you know what? This Sunday, I'm going to win this fucking game for the team. You can't, because you're a punter. Reality check. As good as you can be at your craft, you're still a punter, and at best you're out there a handful of plays a game. It's reality.
And if the Raiders' offense works well, it's even lesser amount of time that we see you on the field.
He's not. Listen, they were already trying out punters before they released King. They obviously seen something and were like, yeah. That for we could get this kid for a fifth of what we're paying this guy, and I don't have the attitude, I don't have the social media garbage, I don't have him trying to be the next freaking, Barstool Sports on Facebook. Whatever he was trying to do with his lizard and the fucking green Power Ranger, whatever the hell he was doing. But I'm sick of talking about Marquette King. He's a donkey now. So
he could take that little bit of that hand slapping in the ass thing that he does on the field up to Donkeyland, where it is appropriate to be smacking his ass in front of all the Denver folks up there. And you know what? The reason why King signed with Denver, other than the contract and other than to allegedly stick it to the Raiders, is because of the height, the mile high. He thinks that he's going to be the punter that breaks the record of Steve O'Neill from the early 70s in the New York Jets. This I know, 99-yard punt, Steve O'Neill, New York Jets, sometime in the early 70s. He thinks he's going to break that record. He just wants to get in the Guinness Book of World Records for something. That's it. That's the only reason why.
He's he was, the Raiders gambled on him, a big gamble on him. He was a freaking complete project. He worked out okay, but let's remember how Raider Nation freaked out when we dropped Shane Leckler.
Well, remember,
who was much better punter than him.
Yeah. And King was put on the practice squad. Actually, he was IR'd for 1 year. With the last year that we kept Shane Leckler, King was there as a punter in waiting. We didn't want to lose him. That was Shane's last year because the next year Shane went to the Texans. Yep. Okay. And Shane's still punting, okay?
Bring that sucker back.
You know what?
I wouldn't mind to see him take a victory lap as a Raider.
Yeah. Well,
at all.
Here's the other thing, though. I'm going to say this, and it's because I'm close to the situation, okay? The Raiders can solve their kicking problems with one fell swoop from these kids from the same school. I'm going to give you some names. You guys should know them, especially if you're here in Florida. Yes, I know. I'm a little bit biased. Eddie Pinheiro, place kicker. Johnny Townsend, punter. Look them up. They played for the Gators. They already know how to, Pinheiro knows how to kick from Townsend's hold. It'd be easy. It's the greatest thing ever. They're a very good tandem set. They can be the problem solvers for the Raiders if the Raiders wish to pick them up. Pinheiro's going to be drafted by somebody. Townsend might come as a free agent. If the Raiders want to draft a kicker to get rid of Tavecchio and go right-handed kicker, they get Pinheiro. Pinheiro has a leg on him. He has a leg, and he's not like that FSU kicker that the Bucks drafted and went up to get there. Aguayo. He is a good
what a shit
kicker.
Bomb that was.
Okay, Eddie Pinheiro, leg. Good attitude, would make a fantastic Raider, and Townsend is his punting mate. Yeah, you want to solve the punting and kicking issues, go get those Gators.
All right, well, that's enough on goddamn punters. We can't talk about punters anymore. There's a moratorium on punters, at least for a week. I've been talking about punters every freaking night this week.
You're going to have to make like one of those little Guju dolls or something when somebody mentions Marquette King, we'll have to,
like this one? Like the Eagles voodoo doll?
There you go.
That we've already stabbed. We've got one in him already, Captain. Yeah. We haven't decided where the second one's going to go yet.
Well,
but we went for the heart first. I mean, why screw around?
Yeah, but so you can make one of those kind of like the juice dude.
Oh, shh. Don't say his name.
I didn't say it.
Don't say his name.
I didn't say it.
Nobody has said his name tonight, and let's keep it that way. It took us forever to get him out of the studio last time. We had Ryan Leaf. He seems like he wants to drag Ryan Leaf in every time. I don't understand it. I guess it's just the type of guy he runs with, I guess. It's unfortunate. But let's get back to some actual shit we want to talk about, like Navarro Bowman.
It's April. We need to start talking about people that are actually either going to be on the team or hopefully we will pick up again. And that's the number one person that everybody asks me about. Hey, have you heard anything about Navarro Bowman?
Yes. No, not really. There's really still no new news. I have to believe that there's been some behind-the-scenes talk with Bowman, that they have verbally made some sort of agreement or some sort of good faith gesture to him that they're trying to free up money. And that's why they're releasing these other guys. And if he sees these other guys getting released and that they're doing what, they said they were going to do, then maybe that's why he hasn't signed with somebody else, because nobody's given him that offer that he can't refuse.
Right. It's the old thing, give me an offer you can't refuse. So far, Bowman remains unsigned. Now, I do know that the Raiders were talking with his agent a couple weeks ago. Okay, so there's at least that, a communication has been put forward by the team to Bowman's agent. Of course, Bowman's agent's going to talk to the man. Bowman really does not want to leave the Bay Area. He's been over there for his entire career. Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons why he signed. It's one of the reasons why Tank Carradine signed with the Raiders, because he's already there. Why uproot your house and screw up your family? Because you're already there. You had a good offer. That doesn't mean that Carradine is necessarily going to make the team. I hope he does, but I'm just saying, Bowman is there. That's why he was an easy pickup when the Raiders picked him up last year. It was a great pickup for the Raiders, and Bowman even knows it's a great pickup. So hopefully things will happen. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's an odd situation that you could have another NFL team that close that you basically don't even have to move. You just stay. He doesn't even have to move. It's a little longer commute, but You know?
It's a matter of going over a bridge.
Yeah,
man.
he doesn't even have to move. And so the fact that you can go to another team, completely change your outlook, change conferences, change everything, and get a fresh start. It's, yeah.
And still leave your family intact. Don't ever underestimate the thing about what happens with your family, you know, happy wife, happy life type of stuff. So, you know, oh, by the way, if you're thinking about getting married, just lie down until the feeling goes away, okay? That's what I always say to folks, especially if you're under 30. If you're under 30 and you're talking about getting married...
My wife might be watching this.
I don't have to worry about that. But if you're thinking about getting married, especially if you're under 30, don't even think about it.
It's a Raider Reaction public service announcement from Captain Jack.
That's right. Be a steamer. And ladies, you can be steamers too. Just don't be a hoe. And there's a difference. There's a difference. See, you can't get better PSAs on any
Where the hell did this go?
I don't know.
We took a left turn all of a sudden here.
Hey,
that's hilarious.
Are we talking about marriage? Never mind. Anyway, Bowman, big issue. When we know, you will know too. Okay? When we know, you will know.
It's basically the biggest news that's waiting out there to drop. I mean, shit, we've been waiting on it for weeks now. It's Joel's taking your advice. He's writing down notes. He's like,
"Don't get married.
Don't get married.
Don't get married.
Don't be a hoe.
Don't be a hoe, ladies. Don't be a hoe. Don't be a hoe. You can be a steamer, gentlemen, but make sure you wear protection.
That's our next T-shirt.
That's right,
Captain Jack. Don't be a hoe.
Don't be a hoe. Unless you're with me.
Now, hold on. I've had. Speaking of T-shirts, god damn, I'm just gonna jump all off subject here all of a sudden.
Well, we got time.
Yeah, what the hell? Speaking of T-shirts, I've got T-shirts coming out. Actually, I've got to go pick them up this weekend. They're already printed, they're ready. So 2 Raider Reaction T-shirts coming out: a gray design, and a black design. They're fire. They're gonna be in Raider Reaction prize packs. Those are coming out, but that's not even what I want to talk about. So we've got this little gentleman. If you say his name 3 times, he'll pop up on the show. But what do you think about a...
Don't give him a T-shirt. Give him a...
It says a T-shirt that says it on the front. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to deal with the little dude.
Don't say it.
But what do you think about a T-shirt that says that on the front with the Raider Reaction logo on the back? I think that'd be a funny ass shirt because nobody would get it
unless you
watch the show.
Yeah.
I think it'd be just a cool little Gitchy shirt, but
drop my tab.
But you know, I digress. Again.
It's Thursday.
It is Thursday. This is kind of how Monday went too. We started out on the road, and then we were like in the ditch,
on the road
in the pasture, and yeah.
Just can't wait to get on the road again. Hey, I'll even sing. No, you don't want me to sing.
So no news on Bowman yet, but no news is not necessarily bad news. No news means he hasn't signed with anybody else either. So I think that's good news because he's been he's went out. He's went on visits.
The fact that he remains unsigned each and every day means that it's probably better for the Raiders. It's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed in this life other than death and taxes. And taxes, by the way, April 17th, for all you guys like me that have been, you know, kind of hedging on things, next week, April 17th, make sure you get your crap done. There's another public service announcement.
I just had a new baby. That's almost like a raise.
Again, don't get married. Have kids, though, but don't get married. You can be a baby mama and a baby daddy.
I don't know if Raider Reaction could stand behind all of this. And we need to have one of those little disclaimers.
Yeah. The thoughts expressed by one of the people does not necessarily mean that it's for both of us.
But
or for all the folks that are on here.
Like I need to hang it over Big L's head like the whole damn time he's on here.
Definitely.
Anything that comes out of his mouth.
I don't even need to see Monday night's show to know that it was a fun train wreck.
Yeah, it got off the chain.
Fun FFT, man. Fun train wreck. I know it would be a good one.
So, here's the big question that I've been asked, Cap Jack, and I want to throw it out to you. All of the changes, it's a total overhaul of the coaching staff. Gruden's going to be the offensive coordinator, basically.
Yeah.
You've got a new defensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, all the entire coaching staff, strength coaches. Up and down, he's changed it all. He's come in, he's thrown out the guys that probably he's seen from the outside looking in, he thought were the bad seeds. The Michael Crabtree, the Marquette King. He's brought in Jordy Nelson. He's brought in a whole bunch of guys on the defensive side of the ball. I've been asked this I don't know how many times. Do you trust what John Gruden is doing with the offense and the coaching staff and just making such a complete and total overhaul of a team that was 12-4 2 years ago and basically improved roster last year besides coaching changes?
Okay.
Do you trust what he's done? This is massive overhaul thus far.
Obviously,
that's a huge loaded question.
I got you. This is a two-part answer. Yes, and you gotta wait to see it. And this now let me explain that. Do I trust what Gruden has done? Yes. Okay? And remember, I think it was a couple weeks ago when we had this show about what I thought the Raiders were going to be this year. Mm-hmm. And then I left, and I actually watched when I left. He goes, and this guy right here says, well, he was probably saying, he's a little bit too, not negative about where the team was. He doesn't talk like this, by the way, but I have to use an alternate voice. Okay, he was a little bit too pessimistic. I think they're going to. And I said 8-8, 9-7, and he said 10-6, 11-5, something like that.
So we're 2 games off.
But the thing is, he has a much more optimistic view than I do. I have
and I always do to a fault a little bit. I always do to a fault a little bit.
Now
I have a hard time. Sometimes I go with my heart a little too much.
The glass, for me, I'm an analyst, man. The glass is always half empty because if you look at things for what the bottom or the least productive thing is, anything that happens after that makes it rosy. You always plan for the worst, man.
Here's the thing, though, Captain Jack. On any given day, if it's 5 minutes before kickoff and you realistically ask me, you could hook me up to a goddamn polygraph. It didn't matter who we were playing, what the record was, if we were 0-10, 0-12. And if you asked me, are we going to win today? I'd say yes. And I'd pass that son of a bitch every fucking time. So that's where the problem comes in. I try to be an analyst, but goddamn it, I can see us winning somehow every week.
And I love this gentleman for his optimism. But
I'm
telling you, there's only one analyst in this room. And it's not this guy.
No,
it's
not.
This guy. I am an analyst. It's what I do for a living.
I'm a show host.
And I'm an old pirate who's also an analyst. Now, let me go back to the answers. I trust what Gruden is doing because of this. All of the moves that he has made so far have been for the betterment of the team. And the players that we've been picking up, okay? Look at their backgrounds. When we pick up the players like Keith Smith and the linebackers from the Cowboys, why? Because Rich Bisaccia knows them from the previous stints. When we pick up Whitehead and a couple of the other linebackers, the other linebacker that played for the Bengals, why? Because Paul Gunther knows these guys. We picked up a kick returner, wide receiver that played for the Giants last year. Why do we know about him? Because Bisaccia knows about him. And he knows about the caliber of what these players can do, their capabilities, and the fact that they are good team players, which is why Crabtree isn't on the team anymore. King isn't on the team anymore because these guys aren't team players. They are me, vice, team. And you know what? F them. We need players that are going to be under Gruden's rules. And if you ain't doing it Gruden's way for the team, your ass is out the door. Now, I'm going to say a dirty word here. The Patriots way, okay? A lot of people ask about what that means, the Patriots way. I hate it, but it works. It inspires. I hate that son of a bitch. Oh, I guess that's about the worst I can say. Bill Belichick, okay? But his way is about the team. And I can't stand those sons of bitches, but they all are about
they're doing it right. Okay? You can hate them all they want, but God damn it. They're there.
Well,
I mean, but they've got an easy road every year. I mean,
well, of
they're
course,
the easiest fucking
you're
division
gonna
there is.
You're going to get at least 5 wins in the AFC East because the Dolphins are going to beat them at least once. Okay, maybe
the Dolphins or the Bills. They trade years,
right?
But it's only going to be one of them,
right? Okay, and so that's 5 wins out of their 6. Okay, so that's an easy road to hoe. Plus, you can be a road to hoe, but don't be a hoe. Okay,
today's word for the day, Raider Reaction audience,
don't be a hoe. Don't be a hoe.
How can we work hoe into a sentence?
I could do it.
It's a tough road to hoe. Don't be a hoe.
Don't be a hoe. and right now you're hogging my hoe.
Yes. Ho, ho, ho.
And again, I used to be Santa Claus when I was in Cuba. Ho, 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 ho. There you go. Those are all of the proper New York terms and usage for the word hoe.
I say we're going to the Super Bowl every year. Every year.
And I
believe it. I'm telling you, man, if you hooked me up to a polygraph and asked me before every preseason, I would say, this is the year. I can see it. Because, you know what? I've told you about my story. My story theory.
Okay, I want to hear this.
Okay. And I have a theory. And I know fucking Lines has probably heard this 100 times now. I have a theory to every season.
Okay.
Every season is a story.
Right.
Because every single season in the history or the lore of the NFL lineage history, every season or year in time ends up as an NFL Films or an America's Game or something of that nature. It's put to music. It becomes a piece of history.
Americana.
And you only one team is what that story's written about per year. All of the rest of anything else that happens that entire season just becomes a small, minute detail or a chapter in the story that becomes so-and-so. The 85 Bears. Is there any other team that even matters what happened that season? No. The 76 Raiders. The 72 Dolphins. There's no other teams in those seasons that even matter. The only story of that season was the 72 Dolphins. So, as I watch a season, like last season, when at the beginning of the season, I look at the season and I in my head, like, all right, next year, when I'm sitting down, what's the show going to be that I watch for the 2017 season? What's that NFL Films? What's that America's Game going to be? And when I had it in my head last season, it was Derek Carr, the kid who brought the Raiders back from nowhere. He goes down. He doesn't get to go into the playoffs. His backup has to go in, and the Raiders are eliminated. He's got all this to prove. He was going to come out and lead the Raiders back. The story was there to be written, and it would have been, but you can see it. You can see how the story could be written, and that's where I guess some of my my heart gets in on my predictions, because I can see how the story can be written, because every year there's a team that's that team that you had no freaking idea. The Jacksonville Jaguars. So it's a team every year that you just comes out of nowhere and you're like, damn, didn't see that happening. So why can't it be on any given year the Oakland Raiders, where they just say, damn, I didn't see that happening?
Well, see, that story occurred in 2016?
Yeah.
2016. Last year was 2017, and everybody had this, and even I had the disillusionment or illusionment, with now depending upon where you're going, of seeing the Raiders finally beating the Patriots and winning the AFC with a strong, hurtful, the Steelers, or Stillers, it pronounced correctly, were going to be the only other team that was going to keep us out. Well, those two teams that I hate were there. Those Chiefs were there. But where were the Raiders? And we spoke about this First game, second game, great. Game 3, Washington, D.C., and it went downhill from there.
Wheels came off right out of the gate.
Okay? So the story was there, but we didn't know how effed up the locker room was under Jack Del Rio and Mike Tice and his staff.
No.
Ergo, the story that we thought we were going to see never materialized.
We became a small little chapter, and unfortunately, a story that was written for the New England Patriots. It's sad but true. The story became that year is how Tom Brady was the greatest quarterback ever as he came back in the second half of the Super Bowl against Atlanta, against the Shitbirds, and wins it all again. That's the story. That's your NFL films for that year. Your NFL films for last year is the Eagles getting off the kiddie table finally. I'm sure there'll be mention of it in the NFL films because it was such a historic event. But that's your NFL films from last year. Everything else that happened last year, it's all minute. It's in 5 years when you're sitting back and you're talking about the 2017 season. It's only going to be about, oh yeah, that's the year the Eagles won.
Eagles won, right.
Anything else that happens that year means jack shit. In the words of a legend, Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last. It doesn't matter. So, we did okay, it was 12-4. Nah, doesn't matter. There's only one story a year. And whoever gets that story gets the NFL films. You get the America's game. You get all your season highlights put together and set to cool ass music with cool narrators. Morgan Freeman talks about you and shit. That's what you get.
Okay, well, it used to be us older dudes remember, okay?
Steve Sable.
Well, yeah, but who was the voice of God? Do you know who the voice of God was?
The guy that narrated it back in the day when Steve Sable Sr. did the music.
The voice
I know exactly
of
who
God.
you're talking about, but I can't think of his name.
John Facenda.
There you go.
Was the voice of God. He is the guy that did
He's the
poem
voice
of the autumn wind.
Yes.
The autumn wind is a raider growing in from sea, something, and pardon me, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. You know the poem. I know the poem for the most part, but I'm missing a few words. John Facenda was the voice of God, and nowadays it's Morgan Freeman, okay? But John Facenda was the archetype of what the voice of God is, okay? Morgan's pretty good for nowadays, but you can't beat John Facenda. You wouldn't even know about the Raiders and the autumn wind if it wasn't for John effing Facenda, the voice of God. I mean, you younger guys need to look him up.
I loved NFL films. I grew up on NFL films. Part of the reason I'm a fan of football is because of NFL films and all of the highlights of the old Raiders. I mean, the Raiders were my team growing up, and some of the only way I could learn about the greats was watching the NFL films. And, man, I love those things. And you know what? I want a story about the Raiders again. I'm dying for a story about the Raiders. I want a season where we end in a championship. I want that for myself. I want that for my son. I want that for the Raider Nation. We deserve it, man. It's been a long damn time, and I know it's too optimistic to think it could happen the first year he's putting it all together.
I want it one more time before I go into ground.
Crazier things have happened.
Before I go into ground, I want to see number 4. I need to see that 4th Super Bowl. I need to see that 5th Super Bowl. Win. Not attendance. Win. And God, please, Lord, God, Yahweh, Allah, whichever religion you go to, okay,
Aquaman,
I want to see that Super Bowl. Okay? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I hope to live to see it. I want you, the younger folks of Raider Nation, that have seen nothing but pain and discontent, that didn't know that the Raiders were the team that everybody hated like people hate the Patriots now. Okay? We were that team in the 70s and 80s and the 60s. We were the team that everybody hated because we won all the time, okay? I want to go back to that. It's coming. But let me finish my thought, and I appreciate us going, around about this.
Yeah.
I trust what Gruden has done with bringing in players, okay? That doesn't mean that these guys are going to be there on the final 53. They are there because they are consistent. They are there because they are there to teach the younger players what we are going to be doing with Gunther's defense, with Bisaccia's special teams. Gruden has got these players coming in as well. It's going to teach. If you don't know Gruden's offense, your ass is gone. And that's one of the reasons why Cordero Patterson is gone, because allegedly the guy didn't know his playbook other than running a 9 pattern. Mm-hmm. He couldn't run routes. He didn't have the wherewithal to get into the playbook. Again, allegedly, because I don't know this personally, but I've known what people have been saying since college.
Do you think that's all of a sudden why they decided, you know what, we'll just hand you the damn ball, run.
Yeah.
It's like, here, we'll give you Forrest Gump plays. We're just going to give you, run, Forrest.
Run, CPAT, run. And you know what? It works. But then again, if you're also where the NFL is talking about allegedly within the next couple years, they're going to do away with the kickoff. We're spending $4 million on Cordero Patterson to be a kickoff returner. And if you're not going to be kicking off to him, you ain't getting that money on a smart roster move. You got to go bye-bye. Yeah. And again, good for CPAT. We got a 5th-round draft pick out of it.
Hey, okay? Fast guys are a dime a freaking dozen. You can get fast guys that can catch a ball with nobody on them and run with it.
As long as they hold on to it, that's right. The important thing. Be fast, run fast,
and don't drop the damn thing.
The friggin' ball.
You can find guys that can do that. So yeah, I thought Cordero Patterson was going to be more than a kick returner. That's why I was excited about him coming. I thought he was going to be a big part of the passing game. He didn't turn out to be.
Everybody's been excited about Cordero Patterson since he got out of the University of Tennessee, and so far he hasn't done shit. Ooh, I said shit. Okay? Because that's just the way it is. He hasn't done anything to warrant, and that's a shame because the guy's fast. And he had the attitude. He had a good attitude, but you got to go on the roster. All of these people that we've signed have been for less money than one player has been getting that's signed for X team, okay? And by the way, I'm giving myself a very selfish plug. I have written a piece at bigcountypreps.com that actually talks about the winners of free agency. So I actually got a chance to talk about somebody other than the teams in local Florida, because I've done some pieces on the USF guys. Please read them, because I wish we could draft the guys that I interviewed from USF. They're going to make some team a very, very capable player. But the best, or the winners of 2018 free agency, go to Big County Preps. Why do I say this? Because it's the team guys that we're getting, okay? By the way, Jordy Nelson is listed as one of the winners.
You say you like Patterson, David. Why do you like Patterson, though? What has he ever really done? Other than have some big, spectacular great kick returner. Other than that, other than catch the ball and run, what has he done? And if he's not going to be any other part of the offense, because typically kick returners contribute in some other way to the roster. And that was the thing, is like, listen, man, we can't pay you that much just to return the ball. We want you to help in other aspects. And if he's not, we're going to go get a kicker who can do something else, who can go in and fill in for a guy who gets banged up in the game and do something else.
I got a question for you guys. Can you guys name the last Raider that ran a kickoff return back for a touchdown? I know who it is. Let's see if they can get it. See if somebody can get it on here without looking it up. Give them 20 seconds.
All right. I'm right.
We're watching.
Bonus points for me.
Nope, you're wrong. You're wrong, Mr. Roscoe. It wasn't Tim Brown.
It was not Tim Brown.
Nope. Not Tim Brown. Nope, not Tim Brown. I'm talking kickoff return. Carr. Who's Carr running back? Bingo! Who is that?
Dustin.
Dustin.
Ding, ding, ding,
Dustin.
ding, ding.
You are correct.
Jacoby Ford.
Jacoby Ford was the last Raider to run a kick return back for a touchdown.
Chris Carr ran back a interception
return
for a touchdown
against the Steelers.
And I was there in the front row. It happened right in front of me, and I'll never forget that game as a great goddamn game.
I believe it was a 97-yard interception return.
I think it was, no. Wasn't it the field?
It was at least 97. Might have been 103.
I think it was like a 101, 103. I think it was end zone to end zone.
End zone? Okay.
I believe so.
Well,
I could be wrong, but it was.
Awesome. Hey, I know it was at least 97, so screw anybody that says that I'm out of it, okay?
No,
it
was
was
not
long.
out of it.
It was long.
You're definitely
it was long,
in there.
okay? And it was against Ben, rapist pervert of the Steelers. And
4
we won
interceptions that day. That day we only had 98 yards of total offense.
But we won.
And we won. Nnamdi Asomugha intercepted one right in front of us from the 10, took it right in, and we're even in the game picture right over his shoulders. He's crossing the end zone.
Let's go. There you go. So here it is.
I'll never forget that game. It was a great game.
Jacoby Ford, getting back to point. Why was Jacoby Ford important? Because he can actually catch a damn pass and be a part of the offense as well.
Yes.
So this way, we need to find somebody, and that's this guy Brown that we picked up. What's his name? Dwayne
Harris. Yes.
Dwayne Harris that we picked up because Bisaccia knows about him. He's got that connection to him. Hey, he's a good kick returner. He's not the best, but he's going to be somebody that can be good for your roster, be your number 4, number 5 receiver, and come in and contribute as needed, okay? The Raiders are getting the right people at the right time, okay? You want to go through the transactions?
No.
No?
I was going to look at something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the point. The Raiders are picking up, again, people that know the system, that are going to be good to teach, and they're reliable, okay? That is why, and this is part 2 of why I say yes, and we'll have to wait and see. The Raiders need to gel. There's going to be at least 1/3 to 1/2 of the roster are going to be different guys this year. 1/3 to 1/2 of that 53 are going to be different guys. It takes a while to gel. They can gel quick with the guys that are in the core, but it's going to be those times that you need to know where everybody else is doing, where you know where your brother is lining up. It's going to take some time. That's why I say 8-8, could be 9-7. We still can make the playoffs, but don't be disappointed if we're 7-9. Okay, it'll be an improvement.
I don't see it that bad.
I don't see it that bad, but I can.
Pessimist.
I'm an effing pessimist. I see 8-8, 9-7. Okay, which still for me that's horrendously awful for me, or awesome, I should say, because I'm a half-empty guy. It's going to take some time to gel. Those guys last year had already gelled the year before, and look what they did. They went from 12-4 to 6-10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because there are different things that you need to know about. There was dissension in the locker room. It's going to take some time.
Yeah,
we also need to find a right tackle, man.
You asked me to drive it.
Need to find a right tackle.
What do you think about left tackle? Donald Penn, they're saying, is going to be out right up until probably training camp preseason.
Well, that's why they had David Sharp come in and do some playing last year. I'm not saying that he's going to be the left tackle, but at least he got some playing time last year. Left tackle could be David Sharp. Jalen Ware could be the right tackle. It could also be that kid that's been on the roster from LSU. Yeah. Alexander?
Yes.
Okay.
Fidel Alexander.
There you go. I got him. It just takes me a bit to get all the names. It could be Ware. It could be Alexander. Okay. Could be Kirkland. It could be Kirkland who came back from the injury. The guy was playing well before he got injured. Could be Kirkland at right tackle.
Yep.
It all depends. The front 3 are good to go, left to right, with those Semele, Hudson, and Jackson. We are good to go, but you need to figure out what's going on at tackle. And oh, by the way, you still need to have a tight end that can block, which is why Lee Smith is back.
That's an interesting point, because I've seen somebody throw up there what they thought the division record would be. Who do you see as the rival to the Raiders in the AFC West? I mean, honestly, when you're looking at our 9-7 or 7-9 record, as you say, that means somebody has to be the strong team in the division. I mean, do you think the Donkeys are loaded up now that they got Case Keenum? Because I'm not a believer in Case Keenum.
Then you haven't read my article.
I have not read your article, but I'm not a believer in Case Keenum. I'm sorry. Then I disagree with your article.
Well,
I haven't even read it.
No. Well, you don't even. I said who are the winners in free agency.
Oh, okay.
Case Keenum is a winner in free agency.
He's a winner.
He's a winner.
Well, yes, he's a winner because he's got his, he's got a full bank account.
Well,
now.
there you go. But read my article, Big County Preps, go in there in NFL. Point being is the AFC West is wide open. Wide open. Any team, Denver, Los Angeles, I didn't say San Diego.
No.
Los Angeles, Oakland, Kansas City, although I think Kansas City is going to be on the outs because why? Because they really are going to take a step back with Patrick Mahomes II.
Yeah.
They're going to take a step back. They've lost a lot of players, okay?
I agree.
Okay, Denver has lost some players with losing Talib, okay? They're going to take a step back. I don't want to play the LA Rams. Thank God they're not in our division, okay? That's also part of my article.
The LA Rams they've went all in, man. I mean, but they've traded away a lot of picks. They've traded away a lot of future.
But they're all in for this year.
For this year, they're freaking all in, man. We're going all in. But if they don't get it done this year, they are set to fall flat on their face.
Big problems with their salary cap. But anyway, that's one of those things that they're going to worry about next year. And we play the Rams this year because it would have been Crabtree versus Talib 3, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. Okay? Or I should say fortunately because Crabtree's not here. We'll have to play Talib. But that's actually to our advantage because we know how Talib plays. We know how Peters plays. So actually our receivers, if they are on the team and know about these guys, will have an advantage to that. The problem is that other than Cooper, who's still on our team that knows these guys, okay? Cooper, Nelson, okay? We'll need to see what's going on. We have an advantage there. But back to point, the AFC West is wide open. Wide open. That's why the Raiders could be 12-4, or they could be 9-7, or they could be 7-9. It's a matter of the team gelling. I'm telling you, it's wide open. They can make the playoffs. It's going to be, but I honestly think that next year, 2019, is going to be the year that everything comes together. Could be this year. It could be this year, but I'm guaranteeing you that by 2019, with everybody with a year under Gruden's belt, it's going to happen a lot better. Remember, Gruden was 8-8, 8-8, then 12-4 when he was on the Raiders as the head coach the first time around.
Yeah, and he didn't set the world on fire when he went to the Bucs. He went there, he took over Dungy's team.
He destroyed Dungy's team.
Won a Super Bowl and then ran it into the ground. It's like you took over this fine restaurant and you kept serving good food for a while till you got rid of all them folks, and then
until you got rid of all your chefs.
And then you got roaches running around.
Went to McDonald's and
they're coming in. The health inspectors like, what the fuck,
with Jimmy the Fry Cook is your chef now, so you got some issues. Hey, Carr is not Jimmy the Fry Cook. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be good. I actually gonna want to see what we're doing at running back, other than because I don't think Marshawn Lynch or Doug Martin. I don't think both of those guys are going to be on the roster this year. I just think that maybe one of them might not stay. I tell you what, though, I can almost guarantee you that some between Richard and Washington, one of those guys are gone. That's for sure. Okay?
I still say it's Richard, man. I still say it's Richard. I've seen the ceiling of D-Wash. I've seen the ceiling of Jalen Richard. And the difference is Richard puts the ball on the ground more. And I'm sorry, I think D-Wash's ceiling is just a little higher than Richard's.
And Richard starts fumbling in OTAs and training camp.
We just brought Doug Martin in. He's your Richard replacement.
Okay, but the big thing is that I want to see a stud running back being picked up by the Raiders because that's going to be the back that puts us over the top.
Well, here, let's segue that into my next question. Who do you see us taking? I know we've talked about this before, but I'm gonna keep asking it every week because everybody changes their mind.
Everybody changes their mind. I got you.
First pick, number 10. Or do you see us? I've heard rumors now of us trading back
and
picking up picks.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I see the Raiders having people in their scope that they have that they want to have, but I think they're going to be gone by number 10. And depending upon how the draft lays out, I can see the Raiders trading back to getting a stud, picking up another second rounder or so. I think that they are going to, well, it's definitely in my mind defense, okay? I can see the Raiders trading back to get somebody that's going to give them that inside pass rush, such as Vea or Hurst, if the medical stuff goes through on him where he's good to go. I mean, the kid, the guy that played for the Panthers that just went to a new team. He had some heart issues a while back, okay? And he checked out fine. He's an all-pro. If first medical records goes through like we want and everything's good to go, I can see the Raiders trading back somewhere between, like, say, 15 and 18 if there's a trade partner, picking up another second, maybe another first or something, maybe a second and a third to go back a couple spots if somebody is hot and juicy for a guy that's not picked yet. I can see the Raiders getting Vea. I can see the Raiders getting Hurst. I can see the Raiders, God forbid, getting another kid in the defensive backfield, although I think we're pretty much set there. But they're going to get somebody. They're going to get another defender on the line. They're going to get another corner or safety. They're going to get another linebacker with the first 3 picks. They might pick some more picks, not necessarily in that order, but they're going defense, 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 unless a young stud drops from the sky at tight end or at running back and is just there for him. I want to get Rashad Penny. I want to get maybe, and I love Sony Michel. I want some of these guys maybe in round 2. If they pick up one of those extra, that second round pick for dropping back, they can maybe get Sony Michel. Maybe get the Chubb from Georgia that was his teammate. Maybe get Rashad Penny.
I still say I think they're going to go first pick corner. I still think they're going to try to find the other bookend to Garyon Conley. I still think Conley is a top 10 talent. He was a top 10 talent last year, and I agree with you. I think it's going to be defensive line, linebacker, and corner. I think the only thing it's order. I still think they're going to go all 3 picks, just like last year, all 3 picks defense. It's obviously our biggest glaring deficit. I don't think the offense was just poorly ran last year. But we have the players. I
say if you drop back from 10 to say 15 to 18, your corner's not going to be there. Your safety's not going to be there, which is why if you pick up that second round pick for moving back, maybe I think that's where you get that running back or tight end that they're looking for, and they get a defender on the line. I think that line defender or the linebacker is going to be there at number 1, dropping back about 7 spots. That's why I say I think the Raiders are going to drop back in the draft, find somebody that's going to want to jump up to 10, get that extra pick. They're going to go D-line or linebacker with their first pick. Yeah. That's just me.
And we have the Raider Reaction official live mock draft coming up in a few weeks. It's going to be on Saturday night. I'm going to be releasing the date and time officially very soon. We're finalizing it with JP, our college football resident sports college football guru. And me and him have been working on it, and we're going to put our mock draft. Do you want to come call in as a special guest?
I will try.
It's on a Saturday night. I know you've got your social calendars.
My social calendar.
It's pretty booked, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
About like mine.
What date is that going to be?
I'm not sure yet. I'm looking at the 21st.
Okay.
I think the 21st is, but no, you're at the Raider.
There you go. That's a great segue because I was just going to say that.
That's right. I forgot about that.
The Raider Fan Convention in Phoenix on April 21st. Come see me, Captain Jack, with a bunch of other folks, a lot of the personas out there at Raider Fan Convention in Phoenix on April 21st.
Yes. You got to bring us some Raider Reaction live stream from there, though, right?
Oh, I will.
Okay.
Of course I will.
So you're going to get to go there, too, because Captain Jack's going to take you there. So you'll be able to come that night. You know, we'll have the mock draft going. Captain Jack will be popping in with some live streams. You can be bouncing back and forth. You're just going to have all kinds of Raider action on your Saturday night that night. So we'll keep you entertained. There's nothing wrong with a Giant fan hanging out in the comments jukebox. As long as he's respectful and here to listen and talk football. He's been here. He ain't said nothing. Shit.
Hey, the Giants.
He's listening and talking football. Give him a break, jukebox.
That's right. The Giants. The Giants were my favorite non-Raider team twice when they beat the damn Cheatriots. Okay, again, or let me just say, I was anti-Cheatriot and pro-Giant that day. Not a fan, but they did me well twice. Thank you, New York Giants, in that respect. Okay, it's just like we were Eagles rooters for the 60 minutes this past February.
Well, I agree, Randy. Completely F them, but you can still hang out if he wants.
They can hang out. they're not too bad.
What the hell? So, I still think we're gonna go corner, but I have starting to see a lot of argument for the trading back. For the trading back. So,
hopefully,
I'm still sticking with my corner.
Hopefully,
I haven't changed my mind yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a possibility that I'm gonna get a chance to interview Derwin James of Florida State. My boss is gonna be. He's efforting to get me that number, and that so I can do an interview. I've already interviewed. I tell you, man, Augie Sanchez, linebacker, USF. Mike, what's Mike's last? Mike Love, defensive end, USF. Devin Abraham, safety, USF. These guys are awesome guys. Yes, I know I'm biased, but they would be great additions to the Raiders staff. I hope we get them because I got their numbers already.
There we go. That's it. That's our warning sign. It's our 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
That means we got to wrap it up. So, you're going to be back next Thursday?
Come back.
All right. So, the captain's going to be with me next Thursday. So, you can plan on joining us next Thursday.
Actually, I do have back surgery next Thursday night. So, I have an epidural next Thursday. So, if I'm not extremely upset or hurting,
all right, well, so maybe we'll have the captain. If not, we'll get somebody else.
Yeah,
we'll have a fill-in. One way or the other.
Wish me well, girl.
Tomorrow night, as always, every Friday night, Black Friday. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night as we have another Black game in its entirety. As always, on Friday night, the Raiders win. Right here at Raider every damn Friday. And then, of course, back with our whole new lineup, starting all over again next week. Big L, the Raider Nation Report, Raider Nation Invasion Wednesdays. We're going to have a new interview. We're going to get back into our GOAT bracket. And then maybe the captain, if he can hobble his way in here.
I can hobble.
We'll have him Thursday or somebody else. But until then,
yeah, Raider Nation.
We are out. Peace, love, Raider Nation.